This is Lifeline for Liberty, where silence ends. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. These are well-funded groups, and the relentless nature, of course, speaks to that as well. And then, of course, you've got the leadership that's part of the money funneling that continues to side with criminals, continues to allow these groups to run, essentially with impunity. And speaking of aiding illegal crime, it's not just the chaos on the streets, it's also the official actions that are being taken by people like J.B. Pritzker, who, by the way, just took it a step too far.
County Circuit Chief Judge Timothy Evans is barring civil arrests of people when they are at county courts. Evans said in a statement, quote, "Access to justice depends on every individual's ability to appear in court without fear or obstruction. Our courthouses remain places where all people, regardless of their background or circumstance, should be able to safely and confidently participate in the judicial."
Chicago courts, under his directive, are now barring ICE agents and Border Patrol agents from arresting illegal immigrants inside courthouses. And of course, what does that mean? That means the governor of Chicago is working tirelessly to protect criminal aliens, gang members, drug offenders, predators, vicious, violent criminals. You could be a foreign gang member in the country, wanted for violent crime. But if you step foot in a Chicago courtroom, you're now protected by the Democrats. It's completely out of control. ICE agents are under attack in Chicago, and what are the local leaders doing? Well, as federal agents, they have built a barricade around the ICE facility that's being assaulted every day. Left-wing judges are now ordering the federal agencies to take down those barricades. In other words, they're sending a message to the activist army, their political terror army, on the streets that ICE is open season. The facility is open to attack, protect criminals, and sabotage the feds, just like what we saw when J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson ordered CBP to stand down after ICE agents were being literally ambushed in the streets. It's lawless, it's third world, and the craziest part of it all, it seems as though the people might be footing some of the bill, and that's no longer a conspiracy theory anymore. And we now have the receipts, billions of public dollars flowing into radical political groups, all left-wing in orientation, with these groups hell-bent on attacking the nation, attacking federal officers, fighting against American sovereignty, protecting criminals over citizens, all under the guise of providing services. The only group that they're serving is the Democrat establishment and their corrupt. After everything that was exposed, especially thanks to Doge and Elon Musk, we can no longer chalk it up to just incompetence. This is organized corruption, and it's becoming clearer day by day that Democrat-run states and cities are funneling federal tax dollars into left-wing radical NGO networks that doesn't exist to help communities, to push progress, or render services to those in need, but rather to advance a left-wing political machine to protect illegal immigrants, to shield criminals, and also, it seems, to enable and cause chaos on the streets. And while the door's already been opened, and of course, this corrupt slush fund is getting exposed for all eyes to see, we got another Doge bombshell, this time connected to the state of Illinois, where $1 billion federal tax dollars was funneled to the left-wing network of NGOs.
Turning our attention to a staggering amount of taxpayer money, over $1 billion, that's being funneled into political connected non-government organizations, or NGOs. This wasn't uncovered by government watchdogs, but concerned Illinoisans and Republican legislators that our grassroots effort we call DOGE, or the Department of Government Efficiency. Before we show you where the money's going, we need to ask one simple question. Why is government funding NGOs at all? First, there's no transparency. NGOs aren't subject to the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA. Taxpayers can't see how their money is being spent. Just last week, a lawsuit was filed because a state The state refused to release a contract detailing how much public money was being sent to specific groups. Second, the budget language is vague and on purpose. These grants are buried under broad terms with little or no detail. Lawmakers are being asked to approve funding without knowing how the money will be used or even who's getting it. Third, the human services budget has been hijacked. It used to mean helping seniors, helping single mothers, and people with disabilities. Now it's packed with programs for politically aligned groups offering vague services like parent mentoring, immigrant support, LGBTQ advocacy, and many are race or identity-based initiatives that serve political agendas, not real need. Fourth, this spending undermines real charity. Faith-based groups and private charities are being pushed aside while politically connected NGOs scoop up taxpayer dollars. The government is picking winners and losers and rewarding those who keep the majority party in power.
But of course, when you actually look at where the money goes, it's pure political subversion. It's going to illegal immigrant support groups, parent mentoring psyops, left-wing anti-racism, training LGBTQ political advocacy, political organizing disguised as, quote, outreach. In other words, it's probably funding all the activist efforts. The street army that we're seeing on the streets, so they're taking tax dollars and then funneling that money to NGOs who act essentially as the Democrat street army. You know, there's always this talk of who's financing these groups on the streets. Who's financing Antifa? And sure, you know, names like George Soros pop up, but if we learned anything this year after everything that was uncovered with US aid, I think we can pretty much safely conclude that actually a good portion of the financing seems to be coming from the people. And you got these Democrat cities, Democrat states that are taking that money, and how else can I say it, but using it to commit crime. It's like a criminal network, at this point a tax-funded criminal network. Let's just stick in Illinois, for instance. Look at what these left-wing activists are doing. Organizing on the streets as the president's coming in, enforcing immigration law. Thank you for watching Lifeline for Liberty. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and drop them down in the comments. If you like the video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it.